All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with my mock draft 3.0. We're inside of 3 weeks until the upcoming NFL draft, so we thought, okay, we're going to do one every weekend. We've done two. We did one with trades. We did one where we made no trades, and we just picked where the 49ers were picking. We're going to go profootballnetwork.com, their mock draft simulator, and away we go. 7 rounds, got that clicked. We're going fast. We're going to click on the Niners, and let's draft. All right. So away we go, and the draft has started, and now the Niners don't pick till 99, so we're kind of waiting on that. So we got to wait around, but it's going fast. So we'll be there in a second. We're in the 3rd round, already kind of eager to see who's available here. Okay, we have one trade available to us, and it's pick number 99, and we can move back 23 spots for another pick. And I want to use one of these picks to move back. But I want to first I want to see exactly what's out there. But let's just do this. Let's just take that. We'll accept that. We'll accept that trade. So we're moving from 99, pick 99. The Chiefs have called. They're offering pick number 122 and pick number 134. And I'm going to do that because I pick in 2 picks anyway, and I'd like to have a couple more picks than they currently have. So I'm going to accept that move. So now we're at pick 101, and I've got 2 trade offers in front of me. The Rams have called. They want 101. And they're offering, and they're in my pick 255 in the 7th round, and they're offering pick 167 in next year's 3rd round pick, and I'm going to reject that. Okay, I'm going to reject that trade. Now I've got another offer here. I can pick number 101, and the Colts have called, and they're saying if you move back 5 spots from 101 to 106 and give us pick 164, we'll give you pick 138. I'm going to reject that as well. So now it's just time to pick. And let's see who's on the board. They're at 101, and Matthew Bergeron, the tackle from Syracuse, is there. Andre Carter, the edge rusher from Army, is there. Really interesting player. Jartavius Martin, the cornerback from Illinois, who plays, they got 2 opposite Witherspoon. He's a nice player. Zach Pickens, I really like from South Carolina, big defensive tackle. Let's look further down. Darius Rush is intriguing. If the Niners want a quarterback, heck, Tanner McKee's right there. He could be a sleeper. Jonathan Mingo, the wide receiver from Ole Miss, is really, really nice. You get some edge rushers there. Zach Harrison, Nick Hampton, Jair Brown, the safety out of Penn State, who's a terrific athlete. Trevius Hodges-Tomlinson, the cornerback from TCU, is there. So let's look down. McClendon Curtis, I really like. What do I want to do with that pick? And this is tough. Jaron Hall. A lot of people think Jaron Hall's a nice quarterback that would fit them nicely. There's Schoonmaker, the tight end. He's available. K'Trell Clark is there. I really like K'Trell Clark quite a bit. That's interesting. What do we go with? All right, well, the number one need for the 49ers is either edge rusher or defensive end. So let's check. Edge rusher or cornerback, I should say. So the top corners are Jartavius Martin, Darius Rush, Alex Austin, Corey Trice from Purdue's got good size. I'm going to go K'Trell Clark. I like K'Trell Clark right there. He's a slot corner. I'm going to take K'Trell Clark to start my draft. All right, here's another interesting trade. Now I'm at pick 102. And the Jets have called, and they're offering pick 2. They want 102 and 216 for 112 and 143. I moved down 10 spots, and then I can move up to 143 from 216. I'm going to accept that offer. I like that. So we'll move down a little bit. So now we're at 112, and let's go to all, see who's the best players on the board at this point. And so I got K'Trell Clark. I got the slot corner to start off. So what else am I looking for here? I'm looking for an edge rusher. Zach Harrison's a tremendous 5-star guy. Hampton is really exciting coming off the edge. Do I go safety? Let's see offensive tackle. Well, who are the offensive tackles? Who's the best offensive tackle on the board there? Wanya Morris, Jordan McFadden. Um, I don't really like those offensive tackles, to be honest. Not a big fan of those guys. So let's see the defensive ends. Let's get to the defense. Let's take a look at the defensive tackles. Moro Ajomo from Texas is interesting. Keandre Coburn from Texas is interesting, and I think they're looking for a guy that they can play. You know, after Kinlaw, they pick again at 122 though. So, and he's kind of lowly rated. And let's look at the corner list again, because I think you could always look for another DB. Riley Moss, I think, is a star. So I'm going to go Riley Moss. I'm going corner to start. Now I'm at 122. And wow, now I've got another trade offer here. Tampa Bay has offered me to move from 122 to 153. They also want pick 222, and they're offering 153, 179, 181, and 196. That's intriguing. That is really intriguing. But do I want to move back? I don't know if I want to move that far down. I'm going to reject that. Even though that's a nice trade. You're moving back 30 spots. You're definitely moving back around, but you're getting 3 other picks. But the Niners have a lot of picks, and I think I'm looking now more for best available. So I've already gone double corner, so I'm not going corner. I know that. I could go Jamie Robinson to start my complete rebuild of my secondary, and Robinson is a difference maker. He really is. I kind of am thinking about Coburn as well, who they just worked out, and they kind of like him. But I think I'm going heavy in the secondary. I really like Jamie Robinson, but then there's other players later. That's a tough one. Okay, so offense, who's the best quarterback on the board? Clayton Tune. All right, who's the best running back? I don't really think they need a running back. Tyjae Spears, though, is nice. Bryce Ford Wheaton, the top wide receiver, left, is a burner. How about tight end? You can get a good tight end here. You can go Schoonmaker if you wanted. There's some interesting tight ends, and I definitely like the tight ends more at the top. So tight end Schoonmaker is definitely on my list. All right, now let's look at the defense. Let's look at defensive tackle. I can go, if I wanted, I can go with Keandre Coburn and have that big 2-gapper. I could go edge rusher here and still get Zach Harrison, that's intriguing. 5-star guy out of Ohio State. I think I'm going Zach Harrison here. To me, that's good value. Okay, now what? Now we're a few picks down. Do I go safety with Jair Brown, who I really like? Do I go defensive tackle? I think I'm going defensive tackle with Keandre Coburn, who they just had dinner with the other day. That was kind of an interesting report. Coburn, I think, is a good pick this year to replace Kinlaw next year, or maybe even Kinlaw this year if they decide to trade Kinlaw. And I'm going with the big boy in the middle. He's a 2-gap tackle, 330 pounds. He's got a little quickness, kind of a good comp might be like a DJ Jones. Keandre Coburn. I'm going Keandre Coburn. Now we're at pick 143. Now I'm looking for the best available player on the board, probably. We're in the 5th round. This is kind of their sweet spot. Trey Dean's a nice player. Tyjae Spears is a really nice running back. They don't really need a running back. But then you could still go tight end with Schoonmaker, and I think I'm going Schoonmaker, the tight end. Well, let me see tight ends wise. Let's see what other tight ends are there besides Schoonmaker. So Payne Durham, who I really like a lot. Luke Schoonmaker, I like him a lot. Davis Allen from Clemson is still on the board. Braden Willis, the Niners looked at. He's there. Let's take a look at the wide receivers now. Michael Wilson from Stanford is interesting. Demario Douglas is interesting. They looked at him. Darius Davis is a burner. How about quarterback here? Who's the top quarterback on? You can go DTR. Do you go DTR right here? Do you go Max Duggan? Do you go Jake Hayner? You know what? This is tough. This one's tough because, I wouldn't mind having DTR. I wouldn't mind having Max Duggan, Jake Hayner, Some people have told me they really like this kid from Shepherd, Tyson Bagent. I'm a big fan of Malik Cunningham, who, if I don't go quarterback here, odds are, well, I pick at 155. I might be able to get some of these guys at 155. This is a really tough call. Now, you're also staring at Oluwatimi, who is the Outland Trophy winner, the center from Michigan. He's a nice player, and he's sitting right there. Schoonmaker would be hard to pass right here, for sure. Roshan Johnson's a solid back. Jacorian Bennett, but we already went corner twice. There's Byron Young, who's an edge rusher. I think I'd like to have two edge rushers in this draft. Jay Ward is a safety. That's interesting. Payne Durham. So do I go tight end and go running back later? I also like Keaton Mitchell a lot. And I think I'm going Keaton Mitchell. He's a home run hitter with speed, big time speed. So I'm going with Keaton Mitchell. I think Keaton Mitchell is your Raheem Mostert type player. And we're in the 5th round. Okay, now let's check the quarterbacks again. Let's see the board. Who's there? DTR is still there at 155. Max Duggan's there. Jake Hayner's there. Now, I'm just not sure of these guys which guy I like the best. I think I like Duggan. I think I'm going to go Max Duggan right there. Now I'm at pick 164. Green Bay's called. They're offering 164, or they're offering 170 and 232 to move down from, and they want my 7th next year in 164. 6 spots to get another pick. I think I'm going to make that trade. Let me see who's the best player on the board. I could still go Schoonmaker right here, but I could move down 10 spots as well. But I think Schoonmaker might go in the next 10 picks. I like Schoonmaker quite a bit. That's a tough one. I'm thinking right at this point we're in the best player available. Now let's check out on defense. Let's look at some of the safeties. Kind of like Marte Mapu right here. Where's Mapu on this list? Is he still on the board? He might be listed as a linebacker. Let's check him at linebacker. Who are the top linebackers? Charlie Thomas, I really like, from Georgia Tech, undersized. Mikel Jones, Marte Mapu. I'm going Marte Mapu right here. All right, now I'm at pick 173, and Dallas is called, saying I'll move back 3 spots to get another pick. You know what? I'm doing that. I'm moving back 3 spots. 3 spots is nothing. That's nothing. At this point in the draft, odds are it's not going to burn you too bad. Though Schoonmaker probably just went. Yeah, he went. So now let's look at we're still looking for a tight end. Offensive Payne Durham would be a guy to take right here. Davis Allen. Tackle-wise, when you look at the board, the guys that I kind of like at tackle are further down the board. The Oregon kid, who I can't pronounce his name, I really like him. I like Palszewski quite a bit from Illinois. I kind of think the Niners, Dylan Wanham, whose brother played in the NFL, he's not a bad tackle either. Some interesting players there. I may want to go edge rusher again, and it's a great class. Let's take a look at who the best edge rushers are. I could get Baldonado or Ali Gay. Ali Gay, Thomas Incoom, Fajoko from San Jose State. Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. How about wide receiver? Who's the best wide receiver on the board? Demario Douglas, Jalen Moreno Cropper from Fresno, pretty good player. I really don't. I like Matt Landers, the speedster, the 6'5" speedster from Arkansas. This is tough, but you got to go best player available here. And look at what we've done so far. We have the slot corner taken care of in Keitrell Clark. We've got an outside corner in Riley Moss. We got an edge rusher in Zach Harrison. We got a big D tackle. We got a running back. We got a quarterback. We got a linebacker, and we got a bunch of picks. We got 5 picks left. So I'm looking to spend one of those on a tackle, but I want to go best player available. So this is difficult. Demario Douglas is really interesting from Liberty because the stop and start ability is just off the charts. But I think I'm going Payne Durham here, the tight end from Purdue. He's a 6'5", really good ball skills, really good hands. Now we're in the 7th round. All right, now in the 7th round, let's. I think we're in best available. We're in best available territory. Now you're just looking for value. You pick at 222, 247, 253, and 255. So you got 4 picks left in the 7th round. Now you're just looking for value, and who can make your roster. Deuce Vaughn is a tiny little back from K-State, but man, he is good on special teams. I know I've already gone Max Duggan, but Jake Haener is a great value right here. Absolutely great value. Jalen Redmond from Oklahoma is good value. I know the Niners looked at Cam Jones, that linebacker, Chris Rodriguez, the running back from K-State. I don't know if he can make my team now, though. I've got some pretty stacked at running back. Does anybody jump out? I want another edge rusher. I think I'm going to go with the San Jose State kid, Fehoko. All right, now we're towards the middle of the 7th round. Let's see best available again. Look at the list. Darius Davis is a burner. Davis Allen from Clemson at this point. I mean, I don't even know if he'll still be there, but he's interesting. And I told you I love Matt Landers, who's a big receiver who's got a lot of speed. I've already taken Max Duggan. Do I take Darius Davis, his deep threat wide receiver? He's not going to play. Obviously, Duggan's going to be my 3rd quarterback or 4th quarterback. That's tough. I don't know if I want to set him up with that. Well, another guy that I kind of like is Christian Young, who they list here as a safety, but he's really more of a linebacker in the Niners system. But I've already made that pick with Marte Mapu. Saul DeVary is a nice player. I think I'm going to go offensive line here. I think I like some of the offensive linemen that are going to be here. I'm going Saul DeVary. I think that's a steal from Old Dominion. Now I've got 2 picks left, and now I'm just looking for who do I really, really want that's still on the board. And let's, as far as what I need still, I've got 2 corners. I've got an edge rusher. I've got a D tackle. I've got a running back, a quarterback. I've got Marte Mapu, who's kind of a special teamer linebacker. I got a second edge rusher. I got an offensive lineman. I got a tight end in Payne Durham. I'm just looking for basically anybody that can make my team. I think you can never have enough D linemen and edge rushers. So I'm going to look at that list again. And there's some good ones. There's some guys who I'm looking at defense overall, but let me go to the edge rush position. And there's some, to me, there might be a steal here. And I think here's how I'm finishing it up. You can never have enough pass rush. I really like Dawan Johnson from Toledo. Really like Dawan Johnson. And now it comes down to the last pick, and I think I'm going back to the offense, and I'm going to tackle. And is Palszewski still there? Yeah, he is, from Illinois. So I'm going Alex Palszewski. Palszewski is, I think the 170, finished his career with like 170 pass rushing snaps without allowing a sack. He's a really good pass blocker. He can play right tackle. Tough kid. His parents came from Poland. He's one of my favorite kind of sleeper prospects. I'm going Palszewski to round out the draft. So I didn't go kicker, but this is what I've got now. This is what I went with. I've got my draft is complete. I started off with Keitrell Clark from Louisville, who gives me a really good, productive slot corner that has size and length. That's an important position. Riley Moss, the corner out of Iowa. Riley Moss is a tremendous player. I mean, if you watch college football, the guy makes plays. He makes a lot of plays. Is he a free safety? Is he a corner? Can he play inside, outside? I think he's versatile. I know he's a playmaker. I'm not sure exactly where he fits in my secondary, but I definitely like him. Zach Harrison, I know he didn't play that well at Ohio State, but man, when you look at that size and that speed, this guy ran 4.47 at 6'4" and 272 pounds. You got the great coaching there at Ohio State. Opposite Bosa, you got the Buckeye bookends. Zach Harrison is too good to pass up. Too good to pass up. Then I went big defensive tackle in Keandre Coburn. That's the pick to replace Javon Kinlaw, whether it be this year or next year. I went home run hitter with speed with Keaton Mitchell. To me, the 49ers, this Keaton Mitchell kid from East Carolina is just electric. Absolutely electric. I wanted another quarterback, and I went with Max Duggan from TCU. And I could have gone DTR, and I could have gone Hayner. But, man, there's something really special about Duggan. And I'm not really sure what it is. But, I mean, look what he did this year for TCU. And he's a leader, and he's tough, and he's mobile, and he's played a lot. And you could say all the same things about DTR. I could have gone DTR there or Duggan, really. But I went with Duggan just because I think there's something about Duggan that is special. I mean, I love the way I've heard some of his receivers talk about him. I just think that I think he's got a little bit more upside. Marte Mapu, I think is going to be a tremendous player. I'm not sure if he's a safety or if he's going to be a big nickel or if he's going to be a special teamer or if he's my last linebacker. But I think Marte Mapu makes my football team. Payne Durham gives me another good tight end behind George Kittle. Love that pick. Viliami Fehoko. Now, Fajoko's got some stiffness, but we're talking about the defensive player of the year in the conference. Very productive edge rusher, and he's got good size. I love the motor. Saul DeVary is a nice offensive lineman, and to get him at 247, I love that pick. And then Dawan Johnson. Dawan Johnson, go watch the film of Dawan Johnson from Toledo. He could be, the Niners love these big defensive ends who can also play inside. And that's what Dawan Johnson is. He's about 275. He could play as an interior rusher in the nickel, or you could also play him outside. He's not electric off the edge, but he's strong and productive, and I loved his film. Every time I watched him, it's guys knifing into the backfield. And then I finished with Palszewski, who I think is going to be a nice little complement to Colton McKivitz. And between Saul DeVary and Palszewski, I think there's two, offensive linemen there that both have a chance to make my team. And I think both those guys have starter potential down the road. And if this is the way this thing went, I got two offensive linemen. I got 1, 2, 3 edge rushers. I got a big defensive tackle. I got 2 corners. The one thing I didn't get in this draft is safety, but one of my favorite safeties is the Pittsburgh kid, Hill, who's a tremendous player, and he reminds me a lot of John Lynch. And so maybe they can, a lot of people have a 7th round grade on Brandon Hill, the safety from Pittsburgh. In this scenario, I didn't wind up getting him, but that would be the first guy. Like in the 7th round, as I'm sitting there drafting Palszewski, I'm probably figuring out it's either him or the Pittsburgh kid Hill. And in this case, I'll go with the offensive lineman, and I'll try to convince Hill to sign as an undrafted free agent. But there you go. There's your mock draft 3.0. A lot of people would say, well, you traded back a couple times and you got some extra picks. Well, if you look at the Niners, what do they really need as far as picks? I mean, I think they're going to need one quarterback, one speed receiver, one speed player, one really fast electric player, either at running back or wide receiver, but probably not both. One tight end. They definitely need some offensive line, talent, whether it be, in this case, I went with depth and not guys who can plug and play. I need a kicker, but I'm not wasting a draft pick on a kicker unless I really like the kid out of Maryland, Chad Ryland. But in this scenario, I didn't go that route. I wanted edge rushers, and I got 3 of them. I wanted to bolster my front a little bit with Coburn. That's kind of a pick about next year. I like my linebackers, as you can see. I do think like Mikel Jones from Syracuse and a couple other guys. Stephon Pierre for, I think, Albany State out of the HBCU All-Star game. He'd be a guy that I'd want to get after the draft. Brandon Hill, the Pittsburgh safety, I'd like to have because he's a tone setter. But I got a couple of DBs to start off that I really think can help me right away. And, the 49ers, if this was their draft, I feel really good about the direction it went. So there you go, Mock Draft 3.0. Hope you enjoyed it. We're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, the best barbecue in Northern California. Check them out in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Marin County, and they're open Wednesday through Sunday in Emeryville. If you're like me and you live out in the East Bay, check them out in Emeryville. They're in the Emeryville Public Marketplace. Get the brisket chili, the potato chips cooked in the beef fat, which you can only get in Marin County, are fantastic as well. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in Northern California. Hope you enjoyed the Mock Draft 3.0. We'll have another one next Saturday as we count it down to the NFL Draft. Hope you enjoyed this one. Give me your thoughts on what you thought of it. Give me your thoughts on maybe you loved it, maybe you hated it, maybe there was somebody that you wanted that I didn't go for. I'm sure that is the case. But thanks for supporting The Krueg Show on YouTube.